Hello and welcome to a Tin Dog podcast, this time talking about episode 3 of The Sandman. Now, I know that basically the first two episodes of this, me chatting, have basically been me just enthusing and going on about stuff and history and things like that. Weirdly, this episode, episode 3, which was great, is the one that deviates from the established history of Sandman, because we've got a gender swap in John Constantine. This is John Constantine. Hang on, let's see if I can just focus in without... Anyway, this is John Constantine, okay? John Constantine is the star of his own comic, Hellblazer. The origin story in Hellblazer takes place, well, as the origin story, it's the one that keeps being referred to as the event in Newcastle. Now, as a Geordie, I was blown away by the fact that DC Comics had a character who admittedly looked a bit like Sting, who's from my hometown, but also there was a story set in Newcastle. This was the same people who made Batman, and there was a story set in my hometown. I know how Radio Free Skaro feel about Canada now. So I've always been kind of on the lookout. I mean, in Doctor Who, you've basically had not very many Geordie characters. I'm not counting Stevenson. So I'm always pleased when this sort of thing comes up. Now, Lady Joanna Constantine is John Constantine's ancestor. So it's established history. Gender swapping I've got no issue with, character-wise. Jenna Coleman, however, I've never been the biggest fan of. Now, she does a perfectly good job, and everybody absolutely loves Jenna Coleman. They do. With good reason. You know, but it's not just the looks, but I always feel that she hasn't 100% inhabited the character. She's a character actress. She's playing Jenna Coleman, playing these parts. Oh, I'm just being a snob. I really am. I mean, let's face it, this episode rocked. It's got Matthew in it. Oh yeah, Matthew. How good is Matthew? Voiced by Adam F. Goldberg's voice person, who isn't Adam F. Goldberg, who is the bloke who worked in the underground trains on King of Queens, who's just brilliant and is, of course, a massive geek. He probably would have said yes regardless. Also in this episode, we've got someone else from Goodness Gracious Me. It's just a reunion. Is this the Goodness Gracious Me reunion episode that just happens to have the Sandman in it? Probably. The romance thing, the flashback thing, the getting of the sand, the release, the dreams, all beautifully done. But it's really nice. And I'm speaking to a few people out there who lived in Newcastle who understood these things. Tell me if I'm right in the comments below. Did the nightclub where the summoning take place just look like the Mayfair? It did, didn't it? I mean, it really did look just like the Mayfair in Newcastle, which is now very, very gone. To be fair, I've not lived there for 18 years, so they may have pulled down the thing that was built on top of it. I was there on the last night. Oh yeah, I was there. Moving on. It's really nice that Joanna Constantine's got the same origin story set in the same city. Geordie's on Netflix. That's where I was going with this. There is at least one Geordie character on Netflix, and you don't get that. You don't get people who talk like, well, you don't get people like talk like me, but you didn't get people who talk like me, like, you don't get people who do that at all on TV. Cheryl Cole does not count. Is that the quote that's going to be coming from me? Well, alright, you've seen her, but there's a reason she doesn't appear on American TV. Is because she talks like that, you know. And that is a fairly extreme Geordie accent. Could be worse. I could make it worse, but you don't want that because people will complain. But it's nice that people are from here. There's a guy in Doctor Who fandom who looks at how many Sikhs have been in Doctor Who. It's one of the Hoovers, and he always comments and things like that. Brilliant guy to follow, and really he's written some great books as well. But I do feel that I'm the Geordie version of that, and I'm always looking out for bits of my culture appearing in popular culture. And I always liked that John Constantine's storyline Newcastle based. Yes, there was no bridges, no Angel. Well, there wouldn't have been an Angel of the North, but that works. So, is it a great episode? Yes, it's a great episode. You've got more development. You've got the Ravens. You've got Matthew. You've also got, well, Constantine. Now, I know DC had a spin-off Constantine series which looked and sounded perfect, of which I've seen about 4 episodes. I must get around to getting the rest. I was hoping for another season, but that Constantine is in the universe of whatever it's called. It's the DC TV universe. I'm not that familiar with it. So you've got a different one. It's the whole not my Lucifer thing. This is the Sandman. It's its own creature, and it looks so much like the comic and feels, which is more important, like the comics, like the stories that actually touched us on the inside. So, another cracking episode. And I didn't talk about toys this time, despite the fact that over there is Death in Funko form. Oh yeah! And Dr. Fate. Will Dr. Fate be in this? Oh no, I don't know, and I don't want spoilers, because I'm watching these one at a time, and then I'm sharing it with you. Until next time, be seeing you.